February 1258, a moment when history itself seemed to stop breathing. A man walks through his own treasury, towering ceilings, gold-covered pillars, walls carved with glory. Guards flank him, but they no longer serve him. Behind him, Baghdad burns. Ahead lies a fate darker than fire itself. He pauses again and again, staring at mountains of gold, wealth preserved for years. From it came silk, scholars, and shining palaces. The treasure remained protected while the city did not. Eyes study his face closely, as if measuring whether reality has finally reached him. This was Al-Musta, the Caliph of Baghdad, commander of the faithful. Millions believed this position was the spiritual center of the world. Within hours, he would be dead. But his death would not be ordinary. It would be a message echoing far beyond empires. For 5 centuries, Baghdad was not just a city. It was the intellectual heart of the world. New systems of mathematics emerged here. Medicine was organized. Philosophy, astronomy, law, and science met under one roof. At the House of Wisdom, knowledge was preserved so it would never be lost. Markets offered goods from across the world. Canals kept the city alive. Hospitals treated everyone. This was not a dying civilization, it stood at its peak. And at that very height, Baghdad made a single fatal mistake, one whose cost would be paid for centuries to come. When Al-Mustasim inherited the caliphate, he received immense wealth but also a hollow system. The army appeared strong, yet lacked discipline. Governors were called loyal but acted independently. The treasury overflowed with gold, yet remained closed when it came to defense. Baghdad had survived crises before, and that confidence made it careless. When news arrived from the east, cities erased, empires destroyed. Baghdad listened, then waited. But the Mongols did not wait. They did not fight with emotion, but with system and calculation. For the Mongols, every city was an equation. Obedience meant survival. Resistance meant extinction. When Hulagu Khan was assigned the West, the goal was clear: subjugate every state by submission or destruction. This was not war. It was a formula with a predetermined result. The message reached Baghdad: simple, calm, without anger. Submit, pay tribute. Send your sons as guarantee. The city will survive. Debate erupted in the court. Some trusted sanctity, others trusted walls. One voice warned, they do not fight walls, they fight decisions. The decision was made: refusal. And with refusal came no preparation. Baghdad's army marched out, believing the enemy was weak. What awaited them was a trap. The battle ended within hours. Those who survived could not even explain what had truly happened. It became clear: Baghdad now stood alone. When the siege began, there was no chaos, only construction. Day and night, machines rose before the walls. This was not a show of raw power. It was a display of patience, stronger than stone fortifications. Then the stones began to fall, striking the same point again and again. Morale broke before the walls did. When the breach appeared, the army did not rush in. They entered, methodical and silent. This was not an assault. It was enforcement, as if the outcome was already decided. At last, the caliph sent word: I will come myself. Open the gates. When he emerged, courtiers, sons, and scholars followed. This was not a parade of prisoners. It was a procession marking the end of an era, moving forward in silence. The caliph was asked about the treasury. The doors were opened. Gold, silver, jewels, everything remained. The question was never spoken aloud, yet everyone understood it. If all this existed, why was the city defenseless? Silence delivered the answer more clearly than words. What followed was not revenge, it was ritual, a method designed so no blood would touch the ground. The caliph's death became a symbol. That same day, his sons were ended as well. The lineage collapsed, and the line of the Abbasid Caliphate stopped there. Then came the city's turn. For days, Baghdad was searched section by section. Those deemed useful were separated. The rest became part of history. This was not chaos, it was a plan where the city was the body, and the conquerors were the calculating mind. Books were destroyed. Canals were broken. Baghdad survived, but it was no longer a center. Knowledge scattered, systems collapsed. The city that once illuminated the world now faded into fog. This was not merely physical destruction, it was the loss of direction itself. The news spread everywhere. Cities began to bow. Gates opened without battle. The message was clear: this enemy does not stop at walls, it collides with belief itself. Those who understood survived. Those who did not became examples for others. Some learned the lesson. They built armies, reformed systems, strengthened decisions, and they survived. Baghdad was rebuilt, but what was lost never returned. The city stood again, yet its spirit had changed. Like a wound that heals but leaves a permanent scar. History preserved the lesson. Titles, ranks, and traditions mean nothing without systems. When two systems collide, only one survives, and the one that remains becomes a lesson for others, whether that lesson is learned through fear or through survival.